So yeah, I got zeroed. Kind of sucks, but basically after that rally, I fell asleep immediately after, like, a few hours later. I was watching a movie. They went ahead and tested my line. Proceeds to send, get this, cavalry, and wipes out my infantry almost. Sends a range rally. Fails on his range rally. Okay. And that's I say fail, but you'll see what I mean. It basically, he doesn't wipe out that existing 500k, so he has to send another range rally to wipe out the infant range. So obviously these reports suck. I'm just gonna go ahead and really quickly go through them, but yeah, as you can see, I didn't take very many rallies before I was wiped, and then I lost all of my troops. So of course now I can rebuild. It's gonna take some time. I'm eventually going to be able to start posting again, probably. Maybe. But in case you're wondering, yeah, it happens. You get zeroed in this game. I just don't really have anything else to report on other than that, yeah, I got zipped over this week. So in case you're wondering why I haven't been trapping or uploading anything, that would be why. And I will probably not get zipped again because I set up my Discord to hopefully remind me when I get hit. I'm hoping. But all one can do is hope. But on a completely different note, I did think I'd go ahead and showcase just kind of what my gear looks like now, since I hadn't really gotten into it a whole lot recently, but this is just now what it looks like. I didn't get to really use it. Which, when I get rebuilt, we can hopefully be able to do that. I did get to use it that one time, but I don't know. It sucks, but one thing I will say is that, it's like, and I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I feel like nowadays trapping it's been plagued with this ever since I've been playing the game. It's that either people are using bots or they don't hit you unless you're asleep, right? And unless I bait the way that we baited, which, believe it or not, right, you might have noticed my name changed. And what we did was, and this is this is five head thinking, we basically looked for an account that looks similar. And you'll notice they look similar. Might's different, but likely looks the same, right? Right? Yeah, you look at it, you go, man, it looks pretty similar. Because you look at how I'm set up now, and obviously this is not what I normally look like. I usually look like this, right? And it's like, you can fool a person, and it turns out we actually did manage to fool a person doing that. It's just I may have fooled myself a little too well because I ended up getting myself zeroed. But hey, in practice, it is very clearly possible to make that work, right? You can bamboozle somebody doing that. And I can show you and see that, it is possible, but I also bamboozled myself by going to bed and thinking that I was going to stay up at 2 in the morning and trap somebody. But, the lengths at which traps are willing to go and the danger we put ourselves in is more ballsy than the rally lead who thinks he's just that in a bag of chips. I'm sorry, but I said it. It's just, that's my 2 cents. There's no logic, no power, there is no skill involved, and the guy that sits there and rally leads any more so than what they claim to say. Oh well, the rally traps don't do any better, and it's like, yeah, well, I hate to say it, but the risk involved on being a rally trap is a lot more difficult than the rally lead. I'm sorry, the rally lead has no risk involved, and it's nowhere near comparable, and it's just not. It won't be, and it never will be. That said, though, I will point out that somebody had mentioned that they wanted to know a little bit about picking kingdoms. I thought about this for a while. I was trying to think of how do I go on to this tangent, and I'm going to try and cut it down to a 2 to 3 minute tangent. So for those of you who are interested in picking out kingdoms and you want to stick around, then feel free to stick around with the rest of the video. But pretty much the one thing I will say as far as picking kingdoms goes, one of the things that I highly recommend is obviously pick out your rolled kingdoms. Okay, and just decipher that, if you're going to go to those kingdoms, that's a given that those are all going to be war kingdoms. Guaranteed you're going to have problems. Guaranteed you're going to have people that are billion might. Guaranteed you're going to be able to rally trap there. Now, if you're somebody that doesn't want that, then don't go anywhere near it, which means anything between 1 and 600. And then how do you decipher what is good and what's bad in the 1 through 600 range? Just look for guilds that are less than 100 billion and try to find the fewest number of guilds in that kingdom. The less the better. Now, obviously, how do you pinpoint it to a super finite amount? Well, there's legal and then there's illegal ways of going about it. The illegal way of going about it is the bot method is actually somebody out there has got a bot that goes around to all 1,000 kingdoms and actually tally counts the number of guilds and their bit might in relation to how many players are in that kingdom that are active, and they decide based on that what kingdom to be in. That is the most technical way to do it, and it's the most finite way, but it's also the most illegal way out of all the methods that I've described. The alternative is to actually just eyeball it, go to base, go to Bright Fort, go to the forts, and look around and just really point blank see, what guilds are there, look at their might, look at who's in the leads, what kind of gear they have, anything that you can tangibly grab. That is the information that I use to make an assessment on whether that kingdom is good or bad. And then from there, it's really just a matter of just looking at the kingdom directly from kingdom rankings from that point to really address anything further. And I think that's really all there is to it as far as picking kingdoms. But on that note, I hope that maybe solves that question for the handful out there that are wondering about it. Aside from that, hopefully we'll get back to trapping again. It's going to take a little while. I don't really need anyone's sympathy. I'm not going to quit the game. Anybody that quits the game either doesn't play this long enough or doesn't get hit enough. I've had it happen to me so many times that, frankly, I'll bounce right back up. It's just, it sucks. Every time you wake up, you look at it and you go, what was I thinking? Why did I do that? And then I learned that the notification system is just plain dumb, and it's been this way for the longest time. But basically, if you get on Lords on an emulator, it's going to send the notifications to the emulator. It's never going to send them to your phone. And then to add insult to injury, if you're like me and you're an idiot, you add insult to injury by having your notifications off, your phone dead, and you basically throw yourself into a living hell by not having any form of way. I honestly thought, for a little while, I was like, maybe I need like some kind of plug it into my phone or something and have it shock me awake, like maybe that might work, I don't know. Or maybe I get like a pair of, freaking horns and blast them at full blast when there's a rally or something. Or maybe even, just have that one guy that I call and have, just have him on speed dial that, when I'm in trouble, he just smacks me with the speed dial, and that one phone number triggers a one type of alert, that kind of thing. I don't know. But needless to say, lots of troops have been killed in this going to take some time to rebuild. So all the while, I am hoping to maybe post some content. Looking forward to the updates that are coming up. I think they'll be kind of interesting. We'll see what they really turn out to be. But all the same, keep your heads up. If you ever get rallied or you ever get soloed at and you wake up the next morning, you know my feel. You've been there. You've done that. And the only thing you can do is spring back up and basically ruin the lives of the people that ruined your account. And that's all you can do. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.